Hi guys, it's Grace from Grace Gets Gastric, and I am here today with a new kind of review video. So this video is going to be a taste test review of 6 different kinds of protein cookies. So if you've been watching my channel before, you might have seen my protein chip review video, and then I also did a one on the Eat Me Guilt-Free cakes. So I'll link those above and below. But I thought it has been a while since I've done one of these, and I've seen a lot of different protein cookies at the when I was at GNC and Vitamin Shop the other day, and so I thought, hey, this would be a fun idea to do. So I have got 6 different brands and types of protein cookies. This is by no means exhaustive. There are a number of cookies that I saw at like GNC that I did not get because they were so high calorie and high carb that I just would never eat them. There are several in there that are clearly like designed for bodybuilders or other high carb, high calorie athletes, I'm assuming. So they just weren't practical. I'm never going to eat them. I'm sure they're really delicious because they're full of carbs, but I was not going to do that. So I have 6 of them. I have, and with one exception, I tried to get them all in a similar flavor, which is chocolate or double chocolate, just so that I've got kind of a similar palette that I'm comparing. So the first cookie I have is this Performix protein cookie and caramel chocolate pecan. This is the one that is not double chocolate because they didn't have that one. I don't even know if they have one in that flavor. But I have the double chocolate quest cookie, which feels like it's in pieces. I have the double chocolate no cow cookie. I have the Tuxedo Cookie from Eat Me Guilt-Free, and this is the only one that I have ordered online. All the other ones I got at either GNC or Vitamin Shop, and most of them I think you can get at both places. Then I have the protein sandwich cookies from Buff Bake in double chocolate, and double chocolate from Lenny and Larry, and these are their bag. They're crunchy cookies. So these last 2 are crunchy, and then the other ones are softer. These last 2, the crunchy ones, are not quite as low carb as the others. I'll talk about those ones at the end. So to start, let's go with the Performix cookie. So this is the Performix cookie and caramel chocolate pecan. For the entire cookie, which is 2.6 ounces, so this is a pretty hefty cookie. It's 330 calories, 22 fat, 20 total carbs, 8 fiber, 1 sugar, 10 sugar alcohol, so that is 2 net carbs, and 15 protein. So I will be honest, this, well, a really great low carb option, great for potentially for keto people. This is much higher calorie than I'd be comfortable eating, particularly with the amount of protein. So 15 protein for 330 calories, that is really not a great ratio for me. So this is not something that I would probably get very often, but it is low carb. 2.6 ounces is actually pretty high anyway, so half a cookie is reasonable. And lots of people do keto, maybe when you're farther out. This is the only cookie, well, or besides this one, that I haven't tried at all. I've never tried this brand of cookie before. So let's see what we got. Okay, it smells good, like a cookie. All right. So here is the cookie. You can see it's pretty big. It's kind of bready looking, if you can tell. But it looks pretty tasty. So I'm just going to take a little bit. Okay, so there's some pecan in there. Chocolate. You know, I'm a little disappointed, I'm not going to lie. I kind of was expecting that to taste better, considering it's so high calorie and high fat. It's got, I think it was made with coconut flour. Let me check. I don't love coconut flour. No, I'm not seeing coconut flour actually. Almond flour and their protein blend. Maybe it's their protein blend I don't totally love. I don't like the texture too much. It's very cakey, and I've never liked cakey cookies. It's not bad by any means. It's definitely edible. I would even if I wasn't trying to look at my calories, I can tell that this would fill me up pretty quickly. So like a half a cookie would be as much as I could probably eat anyways. It's definitely sweet. It's got, there's something on my tongue, the aftertaste that I don't love. I think it maybe is the combination of the sweetener or the protein powder. But it's definitely like got a caramely taste. There's like, you know, a decent amount of those chocolate chips. And I really do like the texture of the pecans. It does give it like a kind of nice crunch, especially because it's so cakey. Yeah, but I don't, there's a kind of a taste and I don't love the texture. It kind of gets a little gritty. It's not bad. Like I'll probably end up eating that, maybe like a quarter of it at a time. Because like I said, I can already kind of feel it in my stomach. And you saw the small, you know, that was like 3 bites. But like I said earlier, that high calorie for me at this stage of my journey is not a great option. But for keto people, it's one of the best options, especially because it's available in stores, in Vitamin Shop, and actually I think I got this one at GNC. And it's only 2 net carbs for that entire cookie. So if you're not as concerned about the calorie part as I am being earlier on in my journey, then that's a good option. So next, Quest cookie. This one is the double chocolate chip for this entire cookie, which is 2.08 ounces, so lighter than the last one. It's 240 calories, 16 fat, 20 total carbs, 10 fiber, less than 1 sugar, 5 erythritol, so that is 5 net carbs, and 15 protein. So not bad, again, with the net carbs, 5 net carbs. It's higher than that other one, but 5 isn't bad. You know, 2 ounces, it's still like a decent sized cookie. And the stats are marginally better in terms of 15 protein. So I think it's the same amount of protein as the last one. Yeah, it is. But for only 240 instead of the 330. So almost 100 calories less than the other one. So another great option for people who are doing keto, because it is a higher fat cookie. So this one is in pieces. Yeah. So this is like 2/3 of it maybe, you know, so good size. It does smell kind of chocolatey. I've had this before, but it's been a while. Okay. This is better than the last time I had it, I would say. Like, but you know what, it hits you? It's the aftertaste. And it's the same, it's got something similar to the Quest bars, the regular standard bars, which I don't love. But there is this, once you finish on your tongue, it's the sweetener that they use. And it really, lingers. It's kind of bitter, you know. I think it's stevia. There is stevia in here. I don't like stevia. And so for me, there's like kind of on my tongue, like an aftertaste that I don't love. But the texture is kind of crumbly almost. I hear that these are really good warmed up, like the Quest bars. There is definitely kind of a Quest bar vibe to them, like a slightly different texture of a Quest bar. And honestly, I would probably rather just take one of those Quest bars and heat it up in the oven, you know, like cut it into squares and make Quest bar cookies, because the stats are way better in terms of my macros. They're lower calorie, lower fat. In terms of like a cookie, this doesn't really satisfy me. The other one, while cakier than I like, gave me more of a cookie vibe. This just really kind of feels like a protein bar in a crumblier form. And I don't love it. Again, it's edible. But you know what? that for me, that aftertaste is actually a killer. If you're not sensitive to stevia, you might not be bothered. I think it's the stevia in there that on that aftertaste, it just really lingers, like, for a long time. Like, I'm still, I should have brought water to cleanse my palate. So the next one we've got here is this no cow cookie in double chocolate for this entire cookie, which is 1.77 ounces. So the smallest cookie we've seen so far. It's 240 calories, 16 fat, 19 total carbs, 9 fiber, 1 sugar, 7 sugar alcohols. So that is 3 net carbs, 12 protein. So another great option for keto people. Really low carb for this whole thing. And higher fat. For me, again, not ideal stats because it's even smaller than last one's. It's less protein and it's 240 calories. So while I do try to keep my carbs low, I also try to keep my calories low, and I would rather eat a few more carbs and have lower calories, like replace the carbs with fat, but that's just for me. I don't do keto. Let's see. I have tried this in their peanut butter flavor and was not overwhelmed, but didn't hate it. I don't like pea protein, which is what No Cow uses. So, cookie, nom nom nom. It smells just sort of like a, so this is more bendy. Okay, so this has the exact same problem as their peanut butter cookie. I don't personally love the texture because it kind of comes down to this grittiness, which is pea protein related. If you don't mind pea protein, you might be fine. I think it's vile. This is not too bad in terms of texture. The texture I can get past, but there's no flavor. This tastes like nothing. Like, it's not even, like, how do you miss having cocoa? Their peanut butter one also had no flavor. And, like, peanut butter is a fairly easy, like, it's a strong flavor. How do you have no peanut butter flavor? Like this, it's like the LaCroix equivalent of chocolate in a cookie. You know, like, it's like, I'm not eating 240 calories of gritty nothingness. So this is a, again, the texture I don't love, but it's not bad. I could get past it. And the flavor isn't bad. It just does not exist. And it's like 240 calories for something with 0 flavor. I'd rather just eat unflavored protein powder. That's not true. That's gross. But you get the gist. I'd rather have a protein shake. This, no. Maybe if you have like a really sensitive palate and can pick up flavors. Again, I know people who really like it, those cookies, but there's no flavor. I think if you were to like slather it in nut butter, then it would have the flavor of nut butter and it would be a vehicle for nut butter, but it's 240 calories and 2 tablespoons of nut butter is like 200 calories. So you got a 400 calorie dessert. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So far we're not doing great. The next one is this Eat Me Guilt-Free Tuxedo Cookie, which is like a chocolate cookie, and I think it's got like white chocolate chips in it. So for this entire thing, which is 50 grams, which is the same size as this cookie, it is 170 calories, so the lowest calorie option so far, which you know I'm all about. 170 calories, 8 fat, 9 total carbs, 1 fiber, 7 sugar, so it is 8 net carbs, and 16 protein. So far, out of all of these, this is the closest to the stats that I personally want. It's under 200 calories, which I love, so 170. It's lower in fat than the others, so it's only 8 grams of fat. It is 7 grams of sugar, so it's higher in sugar than is totally ideal, but it's still only 8 net carbs, so that's not crazy bad. The Quest cookie was a little bit bigger, but it was 5 net carbs, so it was only a few carbs less, and this has more protein than that. This is 16 grams of protein. The other ones only had 15 or even less than that. So far, this is the best in terms of stats for me. The annoying thing about this is that you have to get them online. And if you saw my Eat Me Guilt Free review of their cakes, you will know that I thought they were all disgusting and was not impressed. So these are their cookies. This is one of their cookies. They have a couple of different ones. I thought their cakes were gross and would not touch them with a 10-foot pole. But, ooh, let's see their cookies. So this is kind of like a, it has a texture almost like it's gone stale a little bit. Like it's not quite crunchy, but it's not quite soft either. It's kind of crumbly. It's sweet. Now, again, your mileage may vary. I think this is really good. Now, that surprised me because, as I said before, I thought their cakes were trash. But this does not have like that weird taste that their protein powder blend combined with the flours they used was not good. Had a weird taste. This doesn't have that. The texture is a little bit odd. Like it kind of crumbles in your mouth. So it's not quite like, texture-wise, it's not a lot like a cookie. I mean, it kind of gives you a cookie vibe, but it's not like a classic cookie. I don't mind the texture. It's sweet. It's quite sweet, but not in an overwhelming way. Some people might find it overwhelming. I don't. Again, the texture, you might not like it, but it kind of crumbles. I kind of like it. And it's definitely chocolatey. And this satisfies my cookie need. The other ones, the closest one that came to it was this one. In terms of like, when I want a protein cookie, I want to feel like I'm kind of eating a cookie. And this one gives me that vibe for sure. The texture is a bit strange. I find something kind of satisfying about it. You might not like it, but especially considering how great the stats are for me, this one's a real winner, shockingly. I've also tried their other cookies. I've tried their chocolate chip, their peanut butter, and their vegan. All of them I liked. This is the best one. And a few other people have agreed with me on that when I've talked to them about it. You can buy these individually sometimes on bariatricpal.com. They'll have like individual Eat Me Guilt Free, because on their website you have to buy a whole case. And that's how I tried these. I was like, I thought their cakes were gross, but I'm curious about the cookies because someone told me the cookies were better. And I was able to buy like a single cookie of each one and was able to try them, and their cookies were better. I could have eaten any of those. So, surprisingly, a winner for me. So now we're moving on to the crispy cookies. This is the Buff Bake protein sandwich cookie in double chocolate. For this, so a serving size is 4 cookies, and for 4 of them, it's about 50 grams, so about the size of the last 2. It's 220 calories, 13 fat, 16 total carbs, 2 fiber, 12 sugar, so that is 14 net carbs, 12 protein. So this is much higher in carbs than the other ones we've seen. Higher than is probably ideal, but it's not bad for me, in my opinion. I mean, it's certainly better than a regular cookie. And if you think the other ones, like if you can't stand the taste of the other ones and you still have that cookie craving, I think these are probably better, you know, for you to reach to than like a Chips Ahoy. You're still getting 12 protein. They're not bad. But if you're doing keto, these aren't a good option. So they come in this little tray, and I actually really like this. As opposed to something like the Performix or the Quest cookies, where I'm like not going to eat a full cookie. This comes in 4 little ones, so I can really easily portion that and eat just 1 or eat just 2. And I've tried their peanut butter flavor of these the other day, and was planning to just like try one, and ended up eating it as a full meal because the microwave broke at our work, and so I didn't have my lunch with me, and I didn't feel like going and getting anything. So I ate 4 of them. I ate this whole thing and was full. Like, not stuffed, but like definitely full. Like 4 filled me up. So like 1 or 2 of these as a snack at night, I think is a good option. And then that cuts down on the calories and carbs as well. But anyways, you can see they're kind of, they've got like a little chocolate, whatever frosting in the middle. And they're crunchy. Okay, I was like, this tastes like peanut butter. It's a chocolate peanut spread in the middle. So there's definitely like a peanut buttery, which, like, that's really misleading. Like, call this a chocolate peanut butter. Don't call it double chocolate, because it's not double chocolate. I mean, I love chocolate and peanut butter, but if someone doesn't, that's kind of shitty, actually. It's really annoying. But these are really good. They're crunchy, which is a rarity in protein cookies. They got a lot of sugar in them, which is why they taste so good, I think. But if you, I often crave something crunchy at night. I also have a sweet tooth at night. This is not like eating one of these. I don't think that's a terrible option, especially because like one of these is like a good size. It satisfies that sweet tooth without you needing to go through all 220 calories. It definitely has like a chocolate peanut butter flavor. You can taste the peanut butter in the filling. So double chocolate, that's misleading. I've tried their peanut butter. They have a peanut butter cup, which is peanut butter. And there's supposed to be like little chocolate chips in there. I didn't taste the chocolate at all in those ones. But so far, both of the flavors I've tried, this is the second one I've tried, are really good. And again, if you're like a crunchy cookie person, there aren't a lot of options. So this might be a good one for you. And then the last one I've got here are the Lenny and Larry's Complete Crunchy Cookie in double chocolate. Now, I don't like this company very much because they try to trick you. And I only got these to try because they're new. I haven't had them before. And the stats on these are much better than the stats on their full cookies, which I have not had since surgery because I bought one before surgery. And for a cookie, and their cookies are a little bit bigger than this even, but it's the serving size information on the back of the thing is for 1/2 of a cookie. So they're telling you you're only supposed to eat half a cookie. In that case, why not just give you 2 smaller cookies? And then they do this thing, and they do it here too. 20 grams protein, yay, per bag. And so they do that on the front of the cookie. They're like 20 grams of protein per cookie, but then the nutritional, and then you look at the back and you're like, oh, it's only 200 calories. That's not bad. Except for it's 200 calories for half the cookie, and that's only 10 grams of protein. So I don't like that. I think it's shitty. But another crunchy cookie option, I was curious, and the stats were better than their full one. So for 6 cookies, sorry, I wanted to eat the last of this one. It was really good. For 6 cookies, which is about 35 grams, it's 160 calories, 8 fat, 19 total carbs, 4 fiber, 9 sugar. So that is 15 net carbs and 6 protein. So these are the worst stats of the bunch, and they're still better than their other cookies. One thing to note with these is that they are vegan. So if anyone is doing this, is looking for a healthier cookie option that is vegan, there are not a ton of options, and most of those options do tend to be higher carb. So plant protein, vegan, doesn't have sugar alcohols. I don't have a problem with sugar alcohols, but if you do, these don't have them. Again, that's why the higher sugar content, and plant-based protein, etc. This is not something that I would normally buy because I don't think the stats are good enough to warrant it, but I was curious and I was like, this is a great opportunity to try it. I'll probably end up getting these. I'll probably put them out at work, but we'll see. So I do like that they're smaller. They're kind of about the size of those cake cookies, but like, not filled. And I like that in terms of portion control, but there are 3.5 servings of 6 cookies in here. So if you're someone who can't handle that kind of thing and like would just eat them all, then that's not a great idea. Let's see. Oh, wow. Really crunchy. So it's not bad. It's super crunchy. Definitely, it definitely like gives you a crunchy cookie vibe. Like those like little Chips Ahoy type of thing. That satisfies that urge. Not a whole lot of flavor, but it's chocolatey, it's crunchy, it's cookie-like. The texture isn't too gritty or anything. These are pretty decent. You know, like, for the stats, they're not worth it for me, but for a vegan or for someone who has higher carbs and isn't trying to be as high protein, so if you're out in maintenance, these two definitely are the closest to like actual cookie things. Like they don't feel like you're eating something restrictive. Out of all of them, I would say that this one for me is my personal favorite, my winner. The best stats. I'm in no way sponsored by them. They don't know I exist. I actually never bought them from their website. I buy these from a third party. And they are the ones that fit the best within my personal macros. For people who are doing keto or even lower carb, the Performix, the Quest, or the No Cow are probably your best bets. Of those three, I didn't really like any of them that much. You might like the Quest ones. I've heard a lot of people like these ones, and they're probably the best. Stats-wise, I think this one was the best in terms of taste, but it's a lot higher calorie. So, again, you'll have to make those decisions. But I hope you enjoyed this video of me just eating cookies in front of you guys. And let me know if you want me to do more videos like this. I do find them fun. Tracking is kind of a pain on these days, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you guys later.